think I prefer it that the opening of the video is um, the book cover. I feel like this is such deja vu. Hi, 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 hi. Ugh, I don't know why does it feel like deja vu, but yeah, talking about it is deja vu. Okay. Oh, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hello, hello. Hi, Tabiso. Hi, Fifi. Okay. Okay. So today I'm reading. It feels like deja vu. I was just saying that now to myself when I went live. That talking about this book feels like deja vu. I think it's because I did do a. Did I do a? I think in one of the live book readings when I received the books, my book mail. Yeah, I think in March sometime I actually spoke about this book, but I've never read it because when I got it, I I actually talked about how cool it was. Actually, this book has QR codes inside it. So there's QR codes to the songs. There's songs, there's jazz songs in the book. There is, well, it's not, it's like QR codes. If you can see that in every chapter, or in, not even in every chapter, just in J. Like the thing, like all over. It's so cute. So you can actually listen to a playlist while you read the book. So I see here on the Penguin Q&A that TJ Benson actually had. They asked him, your book comes with a soundtrack, and he says jazz and high life music are strong influences in the novel. So when like they asked him to create a playlist, he was delighted. So there are QR codes within the book, the pages everywhere actually, even at the like even on the author's note at the back, there is a song to it. I'm actually very excited about this. Lorraine Sitole also had an interview with him. So if you are into watching or reading about in like a book or um like reading reviews about the book before you read the book, if you're into that, it's not my thing. You can actually check that out and follow Penguin because they have on the Penguin Random House website that the magazine. They have a digital magazine. I think it's called. Let me see. The Penguin Post. Yeah, the Penguin Post. They do have in one of the I think the cover that had. Oh yeah, it is the cover that had the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, as a cover. That's the one that they're interviewing TJ Benson. Check that out because there's a little Q&A on there. They call it Q&A 1 minute with whoever, 1 minute with TJ Benson. And I find like I sneaked into the interview with Lorraine because it was a live on IG, and like he seems like an interesting guy. But yeah, Bulani says very, really innovative. Yeah. Hello, it's been a while. Yes. Hey. Hello, Redeem. Fifi says that's so cool. It is, right? It's very innovative, Lunga. When I discovered it, I was like, what? So I ended up going into the the QR codes, like clicking on them, and like now I've got the titles scribbled in pencil so that when I do end up reading the book, I think I want to do a Spotify playlist. I wonder if if the author has done something like that. Sorry. So I'm gonna read the back of the book. I don't have any reading updates for this week. I am still reading. I'm still reading Invisible Strings because we're reading according to. We're actually trying to finish by next week before the launch. The book launch is next week, so that's what we're finishing up. We're halfway. We did 150 pages because it's 19. I think it's 290 pages. So we split it in half. Next week we'll have. My daughter has scribbled in my books, guys. Like scribbles. Anyway, okay, I'm back. I'm gonna read the back of the book and then I will actually start reading from the first page. I don't want to do any spoilers because I did realize as well online when you go into the Penguin website, there is an excerpt of the book that you can, it's under the website. It's just under the tag book extracts. So it's home and then book extracts. Then you can read that. But I feel like it's too ahead, but it doesn't give away anything actually. But yeah, if you want to read a snippet after this, but this I'm going to start from the beginning. I like the cover, the cover of the book. And there is a shout out by Sipiwe Gloria and Ndlovu, who is a fellow author, stablemate with TJ Benson. A mesmerizing, kaleidoscopic story that will grab hold of you and never let you go. So that is the author of where is my book? The History of Man. I don't have that one, but I do The Theory of Flight. Yes, the author of The Theory of Flight, Sipiwe Gloria Ndlovu, just said that about the book. It actually says, unique and colorfully eccentric, the inhabitants of the Madhouse, Sweet Mother, Sharif, Max, Andre, and Ladidi come together to create a mesmerizing kaleidoscopic story that will grab hold of you and never let you go. So, yeah. The house at the end of Freetown Street in Nigeria's Sabon Gari was once a sanatorium for colonists deranged from the heat and insanity of the place. Now it is home to a family whose unorthodox lives unfold into legend. Sweet Mother, an artist, her husband Sharif, a writer and soldier, and their children Andre and Max. From the moment his baby brother Andre is born, Max attaches himself to him, even dreaming the boy's homicidal dreams. When the wayward Andre later pulls free from the family to join a death cult and jumps off a building in the States during a bizarre art performance, Max must decide how far he will be drawn into his brother's web. Serene and beautiful, Ladidi joins the family as a foster child, promising to marry the boy at school who can bring her a strawberry, a fruit she has never tasted. Sensuality blooms, along with loss of innocence amid the letter bombing of journalist Dele Giwa, massacres, disappearances, abductions, and broken promises. While Sweet Mother and Sharif battle their personal demons, Max realizes you cannot save your family, but can you ever escape them? In his exhilarating debut, TJ Benson conjures up a kaleidoscope of Nigeria. This is the extraordinary tale of 5 people bound by blood, each searching for a way through. And hi Bongani, hello Soweto. Hello. TJ Benson is a writer and visual artist who explores the body in the context of memory, migration, utopia, and the unconscious self. His work has been exhibited and published in several journals and shortlisted for awards, winning the Amab HBF Prize and being placed as first runner-up for the Short Story Day Africa Prize. His well-received short story collection, We Won't Fade into Darkness, was published in 2018. He currently lives in an apartment full of plants in Kaduna, Nigeria, and is on the verge of becoming a cat person. That Lunga says, TJ Benson conjures up a kaleidoscope of Nigeria, right? I think that's what I meant when I said, when I peeked into that live discussion that TJ had with Lorraine Sutole, I was like, ooh, okay. And he's actually a photographer as well. I know in this interview on the Penguin Post, there's a question there about how being a photographer influences his writing. And he says, photography is an entirely different language for me from writing, so it is quite separate. I have been influenced by the photography of other artists, and I am able to use images as prompts. However, I now practice visual art, altering photos from my early portfolio and drawing on them. And this helped me find language again after the world went into lockdown in March. Now I draw from the same place I write from, I think. So it's quite interesting. And he's into cats. I'm scared of cats, but yeah. Hi Ole, hello everybody. Hi Carolyn, hey. Okay, so this is the Madhouse, and it opens. Actually, even when you open the first page, there is a QR code for a song. I just haven't checked that one out. And it opens up with a quote: "Time will break what doesn't bend, even time, even you." It's by Kaveh Akbar, and it starts with I think the chapters in here are titled, because there's no chapter 1 but just blue. I want to see if the other chapters are okay. Yeah, it's just titles. It's not chapter numbers per se. Okay, so this chapter is titled Blue. Hi, Bobby. I just remembered something. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first chapter starts with Guitar Boy. That's the song that is on the QR code. So there's jazz and what did TJ call it? High life music. So I'm actually quite excited about this book, guys. Like, anyway, when they were young and still shared dreams, the younger brother woke up from a nightmare and whispered to the elder, "I saw the future." Now the elder wonders if this is what the younger brother saw. 3 men struggling to follow a dead woman's vanilla cake recipe in a small kitchen. 3 men gravely looking at the big glass bowl of batter as if it holds her body in the dead silence of a Kaduna afternoon. He tries to be reasonable again. "Sir, she's not coming back. She left the recipe." The father's voice comes out muffled, a sound that has escaped from underwater. "She wrote it down in her own hand." The younger brother throws his hands in the air. "Why don't we just buy the cake, eh, Max?" He side-eyes the elder brother. "Why do we have to go through all this stress?" "Because she wrote it down." Hot afternoon, a fly buzzing in a window, punctuating each period of silence. "Your mother wrote it so that she wouldn't forget it when she came back." Black-rimmed eyelids looking down. Macmillan, the elder brother, whom the younger called Max, can use the steely silence in their father's pause to gauge the tumult tucked behind it. fly buzzing still. Max's eyes on the large hands on the table, straining under the weight of the body of this man who brought him into the world. Sweet mother always said those were the first hands to carry him. Max remembers those hands from childhood, how they had picked him up from the ground and flung him high up to the hungry sky and shot up. I feel like this is deja vu. Why do I feel like I've read this book before, guys? I wonder. But I'll continue reading just because I've started. Okay. Max remembers those hands from childhood, how they had picked him up from the ground and flung him up to high up to the hungry sky and shot up. Carolyn is laughing at me. Are you laughing because it's happened to you before too? I'm so sorry, guys. It's really feeling like deja vu, okay? Maybe I've sampled the book because I actually do see there's a lot of scribbles and it really feels like deja vu. I'm so sorry. Okay, so yeah, it's a similar story, Katli. I think so, yeah. Max remembers those hands from childhood, how they had picked him up from the ground and flung him high up to the hungry sky and shot up to snatch him before he got swallowed. Hands that never missed. Ugh, hands that never missed. He remembers when he stopped trusting them. That heat time in February 2 decades ago. Okay, sir. Rolls up his sleeves. Where did she stop? Ignores the raw hurt in his younger brother's eyes. He is used to it. What next? Their father looks up from the bowl, and the youth of the face, intact from their childhood, startles Max. We put the batter in the oven, but we don't have baking pans. The younger brother still grasping at something, anything. Max studies both faces and wonders for the first time if they look alike, but decides not so much. Andre, light-skinned like they pops, but his eyes darkened from grief. Their father's eyes dark from Dozali. The man had been wearing it on his eyes since they were born, every morning. Max pulls back from the kitchen table, relieved that there is a tangible problem to solve, a true task. Freetown Street had finally joined the rest of the quarter's development, so their house was no longer the last house on the right. It was now a small supermarket down the road. Let me go and buy a pan. No, no, no. The father beckoned him back. Let Andre go. Catches his eyes. You will stay and explain why you stopped calling your mother. But Max is already opening the door and stepping outside, his mind drifting to that February heat of 1994. Okay, so Carolyn says, happened to me with Kindred by Octavia Butler. Oh, like, really, deja vu. Oh, and I actually really want to have Octavia Butler books. Like, heat, bringing out the reek of urine and the stench of shit from roadside gutters, bringing out scorpions and snakes from the forest just past the last house on the right. Everyone went crazy when the heat came in February. The alcoholic husband living in the second house on Freetown Street, Mr. Sly, he was called, got fed up with the remorse that followed his daily beating of his wife, so he hanged himself from his parlor ceiling fan on the night of the 24th while his family slept. Aresi, the long-suffering wife, quit her job at the bank and abandoned her clothes and the house and was last seen disappearing into the forest just past the last house on the right to look for her dead husband and children, even though she was the one who woke up and untied him. Their 5 children cried in their house from morning till noon when busybody neighbors came to break down the glass panel door. Yet the Freetown Street children didn't cease the eternal drama of death. Each child took turns to play the deceased, and the child who could hold breath the longest, as his or her corpse was transported on the shoulders of other children, had rights to everyone's biscuits or 1 kobo. The children made sure Mrs. Kufra was not around when they enacted the death play, wailing and falling on each other, overcome with pretend grief as they paraded down the street, stopping to replace the dead child who could no longer hold his or her breath with an eager one. Little fights broke out when this happened, and they all fought for turns. Everyone claimed to have been truly dead. Everyone wanted to die and be lifted up. Baba Rotimi was rumored to recruit people in their sleep for free labor from the hours of 3 to 5:30 a.m. That February, people in the quarters were beginning to wonder how he was able to cultivate that vast amount of land deep in the forest. People were wondering because in those days it was getting harder to recover from a long night's sleep instead of feeling refreshed in the morning. They woke up with bodies pressed down from exhaustion. Baba Rotimi was accused of hypnotizing people with voodoo to do his work. Jungle justice prevailed that February, in spite of his likability and cries of innocence, because local logic held that even if he was innocent, he must have been guilty of a similar secret offense, and this was karma. His farm was not destroyed because there were rumors of cannibals in the forest who tempered their appetite with raw crops, but he was beaten in the night by the area boys and advised to get a job. The thing was that everyone in Sabongari was wary of hypnotists. It was in that same February that some of them, masquerading as a dance troupe, complete with all the steps from all tribes of Nigeria, from the mesmerizing snake-like swange of the Tivs to the vigorous shoulder flexes of the Jukuns, visited Sabongari. By the time they were gone, everyone who came out to watch had something missing. Old expensive jewelry hidden under the bed, naira notes in the purses and shoes, coins in empty tins, even Mama Kufre's expensive wig. The people of Sabongari did not joke with omens. When news got to the quarters of the new bureau, pens with perforated cork tips that killed students who were greedy enough to write till the last drop of ink, there was considerable panic. Parents and guardians bought extra pens for their children and reiterated the stern warning. Mrs. Kufre saw her death when she saw the procession of children performing the notorious death play one day. She had gone to get ingredients to prepare vegetable soup for Mr. Kufre. Since he had forgiven her for an unmentionable in a telephone call to her office and promised to come back home. Something had rushed in her chest when she had hailed a motorbike taxi at the market, but she hadn't known what it was. When the Okada man turned into Freetown Street and she saw the procession of pretend mourners roll down, she recognized the rush she had felt in the market to be a premonition, and it clenched its claws around her heart each time the Okada man threw her into and out of a gallop. She shook it off with rage. Her house came into view and the claws clenched. "Drop me off, oh! Drop me off!" She slapped the Okada man on the back. "Stop! Stop!" He had been whistling Victor Waifo's "If You See Mummy Water" when she startled him with her slaps. So he lost control of the motorcycle and crashed into Baba Halisu's enduring Peugeot 504, parked in front of his house. The car had not been moved in a decade, and its tires were long gone, but it probably caused more accidents than any moving vehicle in Sabongeri. Mrs. Kufre's skull cracked in the gutter she had been flung into. Some brain matter splattered on the new concrete work begun by the governor in fulfillment of a promise older than his tenure, and the terrified children who saw everything before their mothers and elders could come and cover their eyes never played the game again. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, Carolyn is asking about the song title. If you've been, so the the driver was whistling Victor Uwaifo's "If You See Mommy Water." It's written as Mammy. So, yo, Fifi, I know, right? Like the writing. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of this part. So this part also begins with Prince Nico Mbugu's Sweet Mother. I listened to Sweet Mother actually. Yeah, and I think I like Sweet Mother. Long after light has left the rooms of a house, after sounds of daytime wane and curtains settle for the night, it is possible to find, trapped in a bottle of oil or jar of water, the heat of an afternoon. It burns from the inside. No occupant of the quarters could remember what electricity had looked like in their homes, so no electric fans could cool those hot afternoons, and no refrigerators could chill water for drinking. The father sawed one of the rubber GP tanks in half and filled it with tap water. When the children came back from school, he was already immersed in it, stripped down to his white underpants. "First person to jump in," he announced, and both boys began to wriggle out of their clothes as fast as they could. With big splashes that made the water cackle, they dunked in, Andre sulking because Max got in first. "Don't worry," said father. "Sweet Mother will be the last person." And to that, the boys started singing the Prince Nico Mbarga classic, "Sweet Mother." I know go forget you, punching the air and beating the water. By the time Sweet Mother walked in from work and kicked off her high heels in the corridor, Andre and Max had exhausted their day's activities with their father. When they saw her, they pointed wet fingers at her. "Mommy, mommy, you're last! Mommy, mommy, you're last!" called Andre. "Lost at what?" she asked with a distracted smile, mind still at her day job. "To get in," replied the father, eyes flashing with a private heat. He whipped her hand in a circle. She whipped her hand in a circle around her head before snapping her fingers at him to say, "Over my dead body," and starting to walk to their bedroom. But he caught her by the arm, ignored her half-chuckle protests, and pulled her in, and the children cheered at the big splash. She screamed and laughed, and they laughed because they loved it when Daddy and Sweet Mother were like this. The father, still carrying her in his arms in the water, kissed her once on the forehead before turning to the kids. "How many times should Daddy kiss Sweet Mother?" Max began. 5, 8 times, Andre's voice always prevailed. "I have to honor their wishes," he said, grinning at her in mock apology. Ugh, guys. He leaned down to kiss her long and deep in the mouth to the jubilation of the boys. Then he finished the other 7 on her forehead, her cheeks, both sides of her jaw, then down either side of her throat, then the U, where collarbones join at the base of the neck. She tried to resist, but her laughter weakened her, so she surrendered instead, allowed herself to believe this cold water massage would make her work tomorrow bearable. She gradually unclenched herself, relaxed her muscles in the water, and shut her eyes. The heat of the February sun forgotten, her children and husband splashing water on one another. I actually want to stop. Yeah, because it's beautiful. The writing is, for me, as beautiful. So I really want to read this book now because I want to know what happens. And because Superior Gloria and Globo says it's a mesmerizing kaleidoscopic story. Huh. That will grab hold of you and never let you go. Oh. Yo. Guys, okay, the writing is... Yeah, that was The Madhouse by TJ Benson, and it's published by Penguin Random House SA. There is another cover. This is there's another cover. I'll actually try and share it on the stories, but I love this cover. Oh, Gatli was asking if she can see the cover again. That is how the book looks like. Yes. Fifi says the writing is like poetry, so deliberate and motion-like. Please get the book, Fifi, so we can read together and like be on some... Oh, did you read the sentence? Oh my goodness. Oh, you see. Please get the book. Please get the book so that we can read together. Oh, I enjoyed it. I like... I've since learned, I have mentioned this before, that it is domestic fiction. I like reading about family, and when there's a hint of happiness, I even like it better. Yes, I love buddy readings because they hold me accountable, guys. They really do. They really do. I was chatting with is it Nonzamo? Yeah, I think it was Nonzamo. Yes. About books that are not finished, and yeah, guys. So buddy readings are good. There's seasons, and there's a time for everything, but I believe that this is my season for buddy reading. So that was today's book reading, guys. What are you guys reading? I am almost at the 190. Let me see. No, I'm lying. Like 160 page of Invisible Strings by Naledi Mashishi. And we are also reading Fred Kumalo's A Coat of Many Colors short stories, and we're halfway. We're supposed to be done by next week, I think. Yes. And yeah, those are two books that I'm committed to, and I am listening to a few audiobooks. I like listening to audiobooks when I'm cooking. I don't know why, guys, but yeah. So I put on my headphones and I listen to audiobooks if I'm not listening to some music. So I finished... What did I finish? Oh, we're gonna need more wine. And now I'm listening to the nonfiction. Oh, I'm also listening to this book via audio, The Power of Now, but I'm actually taking my time with it. Yeah, because me and nonfiction, guys. Yeah, I'm listening to that because I actually want to read Eckhart Tolle's, the same author. I want to read this, A New Earth. So I want to start first with The Power of Now, and then get to A New Earth. It might even take me the whole year, but it's fine. I actually don't mind. But that's what I'm reading. I sampled. Oh, I sampled another book. I sampled Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. I do have the physical copy, but I'm listening to the book as well. I was just like trying to suss it out. But yeah. So Fifi's asking, which app are you using for audiobooks? I'm using Kati says she's using iBook for audio. I'm listening via Fifi, I re-downloaded Scribd. So I'm on Scribd. I used to be on Scribd because I got a free trial last year. I think when the lockdown started, they actually gave a 30-day trial, but now I realize that they've got a 14-day trial. So I after the 14-day trial, I signed up for a month, and yeah, I cancelled it, and then I actually created a Libby account, a Libby app. Just go onto libbyapp.com, and Kathy says she's binging on 7 books. What? Whoa, I thought I was bad. I'm bad. Like 7. Yo, so I'm on Libby app, LIBBY app.com. So I have a membership card with the city library. So if you have the library card number, you can actually activate your Libby account. So how Libby works is it's like international and it's local libraries. Yes, you need a library card. So I have a library card. I actually am using Mulimi's library card because I didn't create my own card. I just figured I have a library. Like, I didn't see the point of creating a library membership card if Mo has it, and he only borrows like 1 or 2 books. So yesterday we went to the library yesterday. It was so nice after almost a year and a half. No, I'm lying. Yes, it's almost a year and a half because the last time we were at the library was late February, and it was really nice, but it feels different. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, that's the other reason why I don't have my own membership. I have my own library. Like, the books there for the adults are not really, but yeah, I saw a few good books, like a few. 7 books, Kathleen. Please list these 7 books for me. DM me and send me the list of the 7 books that you're currently reading. I wanna know. Is there at least like a book that you are almost finished with out of the 7? I know I'm almost finished with Naledi Mashishi's Invisible Strings. I'm hopeful that I will be done before the launch. Katli says PhD research has me going crazy. Oh my goodness. Yay. I know, but 7 books. Like, going through 7 books. Yay. Okay, if you think about it, I am reading more than 5 books because of the audiobooks as well. But I really wish there were a lot more African authored books, more South African authored books were in audio. Like, I'm really loving audiobooks. Honestly, honestly, honestly. Like, I love it. Like, I even read it aloud some parts because I'm like, yo, this would slap. It would really slap if it was a South African audiobook, like a book that's written by a South African, and you just have this narrator who's got the phrases like covered, the places. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Invisible Strings and a coat of many colors. There's a few stories that I liked. So yeah. Gatti says, almost finished on the Black Girl's Guide to Corporate Essay. Oh, how is it? So, I do have it. I also need to get my act together with nonfiction, guys. But yeah. Anyway, that was today's reading. I am gonna finish. I actually want to finish Invisible Strings, like if I can, and I don't fall asleep every other night for the next 2 days, 3 days. I will finish it because I'm enjoying Invisible Strings. So yeah, this book, this book, this book, this book. Yeah, Invisible Strings. Okay. If you have just joined me, I have finished reading from The Madhouse by TJ Benson, which is beautifully written, I think. Um, I'm so fascinated by the fact that it has QR codes throughout the book, which lead you to YouTube videos of music, beautiful music, so you can listen to music while you read the book, right? Redeem says, me, it's with fiction, I'm horrible. Really? Actually, I'm not surprised because a lot of men read nonfiction and they relate more to nonfiction, right? Yeah. Mm, like most of the people that I follow on the book page are into nonfiction, right? Hi, Anne. Hi. Reading and writing academic work has really taken me out of reading for leisure. Oh my goodness, friend. Sorry. Carolyn says, have a great weekend in Pile. Bye, everyone. Bye, Carolyn. We'll see you on the Bookstagram streets. Um, okay, so Katli wants to finish The Black Girl's Guide to Corporate Essay. And I know that Mbali actually did a review. Yes, I think Mbali does a review or a book as looks of Black Girl's Guide to Corporate Essay, and she does a like oh, she's gorgeous. So do check it out. Mbali is on Flower, Flower as in FLOWAHH underscore. She is actually on here. Just check it out. But yeah, just check out the hashtag books as looks, looks as in LEWKS, books as looks. Like, she does brilliant reviews with the looks and the covers. Like, imagine this on her face, like, but gorgeous, like. But yeah, that book that Katli's reading is on Mbali's page as well, so you can check that out. I'll see you guys on Friday next week. And yeah, guys, I'll keep you updated on what. Let me see. On my reading with the girls, I'm reading 2 books and I'll do a reading update as well on the stories. Okay. Bye. Happy weekend. Bye, Suere.